Coming up, a lack of funding may force the closure of a Flagstaff fire station. Plus, a Flagstaff local is going into the big leagues in the boxing world. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Matt Keenitz.
And I'm Michaela Richardson. Thanks for tuning in.
One of two fire stations may be subject to close due to a funding issue in Flagstaff.
That's right. NAZ Today's Richard Espinoza reports.
Summit Fire District has a tough decision to make. Only one of two firehouses could remain open unless a funding issue is resolved.
Since September of 2021, there's been a known fiscal deficit that pushed us into the decision to allow only one of two stations that are operating out in the Donny Park proper area.
Wilson says that the Summit Fire District Board is working to find solutions to keep both firehouses operated without proposition funding. With the fire season being right around the corner, residents are concerned about losing a fire station.
So we were working with the county to see if there's any opportunity, any capacity within Coconino County to put on additional taxes that could support this type thing. But in the meantime, without having that known capacity, when the failure of 310, that's the proposition you're referring to, what that did was put us in a scenario that the revenue cannot support all three stations remaining open on the east side.
Summit Fire District Battalion Chief Chris Zembeck said if one of the firehouses closes, it won't lead to layoffs. However, it may affect response time during emergency calls.
What we found with the numbers that we've been keeping track and that restructure is that overall we are consistently able to meet the urban response, the rural response time of 10 minutes. That includes the turnout time plus road time.
If you need more information on protecting your home during the upcoming fire season, visit the Summit Fire District website. Richard Espinoza, NAZ Today.
The Coconino County Sheriff's Office is looking for information about a cold case that is 13 years old. The now 43-year-old Cameron John Sequeira was last seen on June 26, 2010. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Office at 928-774-4523. His last known whereabouts were at his house in Forest Lakes, where he reportedly left with his dog. 2 days later, the dog reappeared without Sequeira. Lower Lake Mary is close to hitting its full water levels. To assist with the ecosystem and local recreation, the Arizona Game and Fish Department is stocking the lake with fish. NAZ Today's Connor Byron has more.
Hello Flagstaff, this is Connor Byron. I'm standing here at Lower Lake Mary where water levels have reached a recent high, and that's why the Game and Fish Department is out here restocking some fish. Let's check it out.
In order to do this, Arizona Game and Fish works with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Our stocking happens through an agreement with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and so the different species, timing, size, all of that is discussed in meetings with Fish and Wildlife Service, and we come to agreements on what's appropriate and where.
The restocking process uses young fish to help build the population before fishing season.
Today we put 30,000 what we call fingerling trout. They're small trout. When the lake is full like this is one of the places that grows fish faster than our hatcheries can. So on average, they grow about an inch a month in here. So it's a unique opportunity to put small fish and let them grow. By this fall, those fish will be up to a size where people can start catching them. By the end of this week, we'll have roughly 58,000 rainbow trout in here.
Restocking fish not only helps the ecosystem, but also provides recreational opportunities.
Big benefit is it creates a fishing opportunity where there wasn't one. You know, this was a meadow a couple of years ago, and the angling public pays us for opportunities like this. And so there's studies that show having access to outdoor activities like this is good for our mental health.
So if you get a chance, it looks like the fishing is going to be really good this fall. Connor Byron, NAZ Today.
The Coconino County Board of Supervisors is meeting with Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays tomorrow. Board members will give a brief summary of current events affecting the county. This may include voting rights, local groundwater management, and the Grand Canyon Protection Act. A group of public health students at NAU are working with the Flagstaff Family Food Center on a dental hygiene drive. Students Sydney White, Grant Pemberton, Anthony Trippi, and Isabel Cordova had the opportunity to work with the center for their capstone project.
In addition to the hygiene kits, we are also teaching kiddos to go to the Flagstaff Family Food Center how to brush their teeth, how to wash their hands, just different types of hygiene practices for them to learn.
The drive runs until April 11th, and NAU students can drop off any extra or unneeded hygiene products to bins in the University Union.
Now everyone in the fighting world knows of Muhammad Ali, and this weekend his grandson, Biagio Ali Walsh, and Flagstaff's Isaiah Figueroa will be facing off in the Professional Fighters League, or PFL, in Las Vegas.
That's right, and this is a big match for Flagstaff and could put our city on the map for the fighting world. NAZ Today's Tori Smith has the story.
1, 2, 1, 2 again.
Oh.
1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Now big again. There you go.
Well, Flagstaff, we've got a big story for you because in the fighting world here in Flagstaff, we have a very big match coming up, the PFL. The big matchup for the MMA PFL round is coming up fast, and a local from Flagstaff is ready to make the city proud. Isaiah Figueroa has been training for 2 years and says he's ready for the April 7th matchup.
I couldn't be more confident. This is, an opponent with a name at amateur level is pretty hard to come by, so this is a good opportunity to get some eyes on me, steal all of his hype that he has coming in. And
Figueroa is competing in the amateur lightweight round against the famous fighter Muhammad Ali's grandson, Biagio Ali Walsh.
I mean, if you know about MMA, you know about PFL. It's one of the premier leagues out there. I'm on the amateur portion, but the professional portion has definitely some of the top fighters in the world. It's just under the UFC, which is obviously the most popular.
His coach says he's proud of how far he's come and says his training in jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and now standard boxing has prepared him to fight in the PFL.
He was winning gold medals and taking first place or second place in all the tournaments he went into. And then once he did that, we put him into a couple kickboxing matches, and then we advanced into the MMAs.
Figueroa is currently 1-1, and his coach says that his experience at the King of Cage has made him ready to throw punches in the Las Vegas match.
King of Cage used to be like the second biggest MMA promotion in the country. They've downsized a little bit, but because of those fights, I think he was seen there and give him a lot of exposure. And I think PFL is probably the next level up already.
If the Flagstaff fighter wins this match, the next step is to go professional. ESPN Plus will be streaming this fight, and Figueroa will be the first fight of the night. Get ready to cheer on Flagstaff's fighter. Tori Smith, NAZ Today. Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2. There you go.
Coming up, after all the snow we had this year, it seems only fitting that this is Water Awareness Month, and Flagstaff is celebrating. Stay with us.
Spring is finally here, and it's starting to feel like spring as well. We had very warm temperatures today in Flagstaff, finally not sweater weather anymore. And moving on throughout the rest of the week, we're expecting a warming trend to continue, and we're going to see very warm temperatures throughout all of northern Arizona. Flagstaff is expected to see a high of 68 degrees on Sunday for Easter, so it's going to be very warm out, perfect for Easter egg hunting. We'll have more on weather, so stay with us after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour, walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back. April is Earth Month and Water Awareness Month, and the city of Flagstaff says it takes the environment very seriously and wants to highlight the importance of this month.
That's right, and NAZ Today's David McGrath has the story.
To celebrate the beginning of Earth Month and Water Awareness Month, the city of Flagstaff has decided to put on an environmentally conscious scavenger hunt. I stopped by the Flagstaff Visitor Center to speak to some of the folks who made it happen and learn more about water awareness and Flagstaff's endeavors to conserve it in our difficult changing climate. Earth Day falls on April 22nd. However, Emily Melhorn, a water conservation specialist, wanted to do an event earlier in the month.
So we decided to do a downtown scavenger hunt that was environmentally themed. We really wanted to create a specific focus that each table would do related to an environmental activity.
The scavenger hunt is not the only way people can mark this special month. Stephen Thompson, event coordinator for the city's sustainability office, says people can practice eco-friendly activities on their own or with the city.
Throughout the month, you can practice different conservation methods or attend different workshops or programs. Weekly at the community library at the downtown library here in Flagstaff.
Melhorn says the people of Flagstaff have a history of wanting to preserve the environment.
I would say the Flagstaff community takes sustainability, stewardship to their environment very seriously. And we have had a lot of community support.
She says, as you might expect, the amount of snowfall this winter has been good for our environment.
Certainly every drop helps, and we were thrilled about the amount of snow that we received this year. And Lake Mary actually just filled for the 17th time in its history again this last week. So that's really wonderful news.
But the news is not all good. Even though this winter has been abundant, she says we are still in the midst of a multi-year trend towards drier weather. David McGrath, NAZ Today.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, you guys. My name's Tori Smith, here to bring you weather on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Now, Easter is just around the corner, Easter Sunday, in fact, and we are expecting to have some very nice warm days ahead of us moving forward. Now, Flagstaff, currently we're sitting at a high of 42 degrees. Wind chill right now very slight at 40 degrees. And those wind speeds about north of 4 miles an hour. Nothing to be concerned about today. Barometric pressure at 30.06. So meaning that we have clear skies for the day. And you can take a closer look at that here. Very clear skies throughout northern Arizona. Just a little bit going on over in the Hopi area. And this white over here is actually snow tops on the mountain. So Williams and Sedona, we're seeing a little bit of snow here and there. So nothing too severe. It's what's it called? It's melting as we speak because of how hot it is. 40 degrees for your high today, 15 degrees going to be your low. Now we're below average right now, but moving into the week, we're actually going to be spiking up in temperatures with a warming trend. Records for you at 75 and 8 degrees in 1958 and 1959 and 1958. Since January 1st, we've had 16.28 inches of precipitation, average being 6.26. So we're doing very good in the precipitation category. Now, taking a look across the state for your highs for today, still pretty chilly, but it's getting warmer. 68 degrees down in the valley, 44 degrees as your high in Page, 58 degrees as your high in Las Vegas, 53 in Kingman. Now, very cold for today, but it is going to be getting warmer as we move into the next couple days. 15 as your low for tonight. Mostly clear skies here in northern Arizona. 6:51 for your sunset. And as we move into tomorrow, 50 degrees as your high. You can see that it's getting a little bit warmer and warmer and warmer. Mostly sunny skies as well. Very similar conditions to tonight and to today as well. 6:08 for your sunrise for you early birds. Forecast temperatures across the state for tomorrow, warming up once again, almost 15 degrees this time. Down the valley, you can see that they jumped up to 80 degrees as the high. 74 is the high in Lake Havasu, almost boating weather. It's warming up the lake right now. Absolutely beautiful at this time of year. 58 degrees as your high in Tuba City and 60 as your high in Show Low. Now this is where the fun begins because it is getting very hot here in Flagstaff. 50 degrees on Thursday, gonna bump up to 60 degrees on Saturday. And one of my favorite holidays, Easter, is going to be a high of 66 degrees, potentially 68 if it ends up getting very, very hot or have a heat wave on that day. 23 degrees as your low for Thursday, and you can see that even the low category is getting hotter as well. 38 degrees ending on Monday, and 69 as your high on Monday as well. Now it's going to be beautiful weather for this Easter Sunday. Those clouds are going to be partially cloudy Thursday through Saturday, and it's just going to clear out for these beautiful clear skies. Perfect Easter egg hunting weather. Now that's all I have for weather tonight, but definitely check out sports after the break. Stay with us.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics.
Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Michael Manny. The never-ending winter that has gripped northern Arizona the past several months has continued as we get into the month of April, making home games hard to come by for the Flagstaff Eagles and the Coconino Panthers baseball and softball teams. The lack of playing time at 7,000 feet hasn't affected the Eagles, though, as they have come out of the gates a red-hot 9-0 under new head coach Kenny Macias, who replaced longtime manager Mike Dobosh. In their first 2 home games of the season, March 27th and 28th, the Eagles outscored region rivals Mojave and Mingus 24-3. Since then, the team has continued to rake, putting up 17 runs against Mingus on the road and 7 on the Cactus Cobras in Glendale on Monday. Junior infielder Luke Hughes has had an excellent return to the diamond after missing last season with a shoulder injury. In 17 games, Hughes is hitting .471 with 2 home runs and 13 RBI to go with it. On the mound, senior Caleb Clifton has picked up right where he left off as a junior. Clifton leads the team with an ERA just over 2 and has already tossed 2 complete games. The two will next face the Lee Williams Volunteers in a home-and-home series they won today and at home on Friday. Myself and Brendan Martin will be on the call on 107.1 FM for the Friday home game. First pitch is at 3:45. Over on the other side of town, the 5-4 Panthers sit 5th place in the Grand Canyon region after dropping their last game on the road at Mingus 5-4. Their first loss to the Marauders since April 2nd, 2019, a little over 4 years ago. Coconino has lost 4 of their 5 games, and outside of a 15-3 win over the Prescott Badgers April 1st, the offense has struggled recently. A bright spot, though, has been junior Riker Patton, who has collected at least 1 hit in close to every game this season. After not being able to clear their field due to that record snowfall we've seen, the Panthers are set to finally play their home opener this Thursday against Mingus at 4 p.m. And finally tonight, this evening, the Flagstaff community is rallying behind Eagles assistant coach Josh Hughes, who is recovering in the hospital due to complications from a scheduled open heart surgery March 29th, in which his heart failed to start beating again. 2 days ago, on his 50th birthday, Hughes underwent a heart transplant. He is currently being weaned off of life support. The team has shared a link on social media to a GoFundMe to support the Hughes family. Well, that's all we have for sports tonight, but stay tuned for your weather recap with Tori Smith after the break.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ache than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, you guys. Taking one last look at our weather here. Thursday going to start the peak of this trend that we are seeing. So 50 degrees is your high for Thursday. Going to jump to 60 degrees as a high on Saturday. Beautiful Easter Sunday, 66 degrees, no clouds in the sky whatsoever. And Monday, a high of 69 degrees. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to being able to enjoy the sun and hopefully spending it out on the lake. That's what I love most. What about you guys?
Well, Tori, I am also excited to hear about this 60-degree weather for this weekend. I think a lot of people will be glad to finally see some springtime temperatures. Michaela, what are your plans for this weekend?
Well, my plan this weekend, Matt, is to go check out a new hiking trail around the Flagstaff Urban Trail System. And I might also go for a run. Michael, what about you?
I think now that the weather's nice, I'm finally going to get out to Buffalo Park. Just go take a nice little walk.
Yeah, that sounds like amazing plans for all of us, but that's all the time we have for you today. But stay tuned for more weather, sports, and news, and check out all of our socials at NAZ Today_. Have a wonderful night.